the Wanderer. They sure lived up to their name, didn't they? Last I heard, they just wandered off, seeking new adventures. Folks like that, they don't stay in one place too long. They're out there somewhere, all itinerary, moving from one place to another, seeking the next big adventure. Well, if I know anything, and I know lots, I'm sure there's plenty more out there. Maybe not on this journey, but I'm more than sure there's loads of others. Well, now, that's a question as old as the fight itself. Some folks believe there's a way, some ultimate weapon or mind master strategy. Me, I reckon it just might take someone with more guts than sense. Sound like anybody you know, Traveler? Well, those have been some good questions there, but they're not the real question. Now think harder. Think back to when you first arrived in town. Clear your mind so your behind can follow. There you go. Now you're using that noodle between your ears to posture the right questions. Well, I'll tell you. Before you showed up, old Ford had a glint in his eye, like a caged bird itching to spread its wings. And you know what? He stopped by, told me he was planning to fly the coop real soon. I told him, you planning on leaving town? You're gonna need some muscle. So naturally I volunteered. Now, I might be old, but these bones still got some fight left in them. Ford looked me in the eye and said,
Mudtooth, your stew is the glue that holds this place together. You gotta stay and keep cooking.
I looked him in the eye, gave him a knowing nod, and said with great power comes, what was it? Great stew. Ford then proceeded to tell me he was heading off, soon as a traveler showed up. That's where you come in, see? Anywhoozits, he said once he got back into the old ward, he was leaving, and expected me to keep everything in order here while he was gone. Curious as a cat, I asked him, Ford, where do you reckon you'll be going next? Fact is, he said he was looking to head back to Rom. Figured he'd give it another go, see if he could make it there. Maybe have convocation with that there shrouded king. Now that you got the scoop on the mystery of Ford, I can see the look of enlightenment washing over your face. Speaking of mysteries, I ever tell you about the time I ran out of ingredients for my stew and had to improvisation my way through it? Well, you're gonna hear it anyways. You see, one night, I got hankering for my stew. Real hungry like, but it was late, so it wasn't safe to travel out alone into the city. So I did what I could and grabbed the ingredients I had at hand and snatched up some odd vegetations that was growing nearby and threw them all in a pot and let them simmer. Well, like I said, it was pretty late by the time I got it all in the pot, so I figured I could rest my eyes for just a tad, but I must have dozed off. I woke into a strange but intriguing aromatical smell unlike any I ever smelt before. I could tell you with absolute confidence that this was no ordinary concoction. Of course, I had to sample this strange new recipe, so I took a good old hearty slurp. And no sooner than I did, I started feeling a bit funny. Then I took another mouthful and started feeling more funny, but in a different way. Well, to make a long story long, I kept that recipe. Now, it ain't as popular as my normal stew. That stuff's liquid gold, you ask anybody around here. But this stuff will do in a pinch. As long as you ain't expecting to feel the same way twice, give it a try and see how you feel. Now, what else can I do for you, traveler? This old mutter might have an answer. That's too. So long as you head back then, eh?